Good morning, team. Today's the day. We're off to the border. I had to wear a shirt because you're not allowed to look shit when you're not allowed to look unkempt when you go to the border, because they might take photos of you and use you as North Korean propaganda. So had to wear a shirt, had to get up early. On my way to the station now. Should be like half hour on the metro, I think. It's an hour coach north to the border. Excited, hoping the JSA is open, the Joint Security Area. If tensions are not low, then we can't go there. Got my passport, got my shirt, got some snacks for the coach just in case. I think I got everything. I'm really excited. A little bit nervous, but I mean, it's got to be safe. They wouldn't let tourists go there if it wasn't safe. So DMZ, baby, let's do this. I'll see you in North Korea, I guess. Let's do it. Okay, this is something I didn't expect. We've stopped about 8 kilometers south of the border for a little rest break. But look, there's a theme park. There's just a casual theme park 8 minutes south of North Korea. So this is kind of crazy. The DMZ is 2 kilometers on the south, and then there's another 6 kilometers of something called the Civilian Cultural Line. This is kind of weirdly haunting that there's a theme park. I've kind of wandered away from the group. They said it was fine. But look at this. Just visiting a theme park. It's kind of cool. There's a few little shops and stuff and a restroom. So there's literally no one in this theme park. So it's kind of like a bit haunted and a bit creepy. I'm gonna head back to the group because I don't want to get left behind. But apparently there's a cool bridge to go see. So restroom, bridge, NK2, K18. Let's do it. It's super crazy to me that there's just all these like coffee shops and bagel shops so close to North Korea. Okay, so I've also found Freedom Bridge, but you're not allowed cameras near it because it's like an active South Korean military thing. You're allowed to take photos on this part of Freedom Bridge. This is a surprisingly tranquil spot. Such a militarized area, but we're about to leave, so can't waste any time. Next time you see me, I'll be even closer to NK. Let's bloody do this. Okay, so from there, we went to something called the Third Tunnel. The two Koreas are still at war, but they've signed an armistice to have no fighting. But even after they signed this armistice, the North were digging tunnels as part of secret plans to attack Seoul. And the South have found 4. They expect there's loads more they haven't found yet. But this was the 3rd one they found. You can go in. Okay, just got out the tunnels. They didn't let me film in there. I had to put it in a locker and everything. It's hard work. It's like a super steep walk down and a like 200-meter tunnel just to get to the end, and you can peer through this little hole where they've blocked it off, but you can see the North Korean side. And they've got their own little peepee hole looking back. Oh, it's super creepy. It's so cool. It's hard work though, and you can really believe a lot of people probably died building those tunnels from the North Korean side. It must have taken years. You can see little dynamite holes where they blew bits of rock up. Oh, it's amazing. Really, really creepy, but really cool. We watched a little video about these tunnels as well, so they were like secretly dug from the north side into the south after the peace treaty was signed. We watched this little video about all the propaganda about how the North are the worst, and I mean they are the worst, but it was still hardcore propaganda about how the South is, you know, majestic and respecting the DMZ and how that's amazing, and the North is a piece of shit, but fair enough. Oh, that says no photography, so let's come back this way. Reunite the two Koreas. That's what they want to do. We're going to an observatory next, so we'll probably get to see into North Korea, which will be pretty interesting, I think. DMZ. Pretty cool. I really like it.
red color sign to your left. Down there is the signs up there. Landmine warning sign.
This is it. We're at the observatory. Just over there is where we're going to see North Korea for the first time. So that's pretty sick. There's this big old building. Check it out. That's not a real guy, so don't worry about him. Beginning of unification, end of separation. But let's do it. Let's go see North Korea. I'm quite excited. How many people have seen this country? It's such a peek behind the curtain of somewhere that people don't normally see, so this is exciting. But anyway, enough of me. Let's go see NK. It's basically just a lookout with binoculars, and you can look straight into the north and you can see some mountains in North Korea. You can see the DMZ and the border. You can see a bit of what looks like a city, and then something called Propaganda Village, which is this like fake town that the North Koreans built to try and encourage South Koreans to defect up to the north. But they didn't finish it. It looks quite bad, but they sometimes play propaganda out from it, like on the speakers, being like, everyone is welcome, come to the village, but no one lives in the village, it's completely empty. That doesn't even have real doors and windows. They're just painted on the buildings. And the other funny thing about Propaganda Village is there's a big flag on the south side of the border, which is like 100 meters high, and it's got a South Korean flag on it. And once that went up, the North built an even bigger flagpole, so they built a 160-meter flagpole in Propaganda Village with the North Korean flag on it. I think it's something like the third or fourth biggest flagpole in the world, we were told. But it's really cool to see, like, looking out and seeing a North Korean flag flying in North Korea was pretty special. My time with the North Korean view here is over, but I think we're going even closer, so onwards. Farewell, North Korea. You are shockingly beautiful. Last stop before lunch is Dorasan train station, which was meant to connect the north and the south, but only did so for 1 year in 2007 because the south was giving the north lots of money. It doesn't run anymore. Okay, I just found out there's one train a day to the station and one train a day from the station. It goes from Seoul to here and back again in the evening, which, considering it cost like $40 million plus some Korean investment to build the station, is pretty crazy. The hope is that one day it will connect with the north again under one unified Korea. As I mentioned, we all had our passports checked by a Korean soldier on the way in. It was pretty fun. I wasn't allowed to film that. Cool. Station time. Next to it there's like a customs office and everything, which is now all completely disused because there's no trains running. The only thing that's used in the customs office is the cafeteria, which is where we had our lunch. Just had lunch. Bibimbap, classic Korean. We're right opposite literally the gate to North Korea, which is obviously shut off, but I'll show you in a sec. It's super cool. Lunch in there. North Korea in there. Oh, look how off limit it is. You want to come to the north? You may not. You can see the gateway to the north, basically, which is effectively, it's not quite the border, but it's basically the last line of defense to the border. And it's just like, it's basically like looks like a toll booth, but it's just lots of red X's and lots of security saying you can't go through it. That's really cool to see as well. Okay, so after lunch, this was a full day tour. Like I said, it's about £100, but I think it's definitely worth it to go to the JSA. So this is the joint security area. The JSA lies like on the border. There's buildings that straddle the border, which is where you can step into the north. So you go back in your coach, you go up, you get there, you're greeted by the American Army this time, and then they give you a little presentation about what's going on in the JSA, who everyone is, what's going on, the history of it. And then you have to transfer to a different bus, a UN bus, and that drives you basically to the border. And this is when you can step out, you walk through Freedom House, which you're not allowed to film in. Actually, right at the end of the tour, someone took a photo of Freedom House and a ROK soldier came up to them and made them delete it because it's security issues. There's 7 buildings that straddle the border. 3 of them are UN operated and 4 of them are North Korean operated.
Just refrain from taking any pictures of the blue building on the right, the Freedom House, and the weather tower, which is behind you guys. Besides that, you guys will be able to take pictures of everything you guys see this way. Just talk about where we are a little bit, and then we'll head inside the MAC building. So where we are right now, it's called Conference Row. It's the official meeting place between North and South Korea. All the blue buildings you guys see belong to the UNC. The gray or Seoul buildings belong to the KPA or North Korea. So the building on your far right, that's the JDO shack, also known as the Joint Duty Shack. Over there is a U.S. naval officer who's responsible for all the communications between North and South Korea. Next to that, you guys can see the little 2-story tan tower. That is KPA guard post number 2, and they are monitoring and recording us at this time. Now I do ask that you guys don't point, wave, or make any gestures towards that guard post. The North Korean Welcome Center is what they like to call it. Typically the North Koreans do tours as well. We never really see like a giant group of people. Most times we probably see these like 10 or 15 people out there, and they never actually come down all the way to the steps. They'll just kind of stay right where you see those 3 gold doors at. That's pretty much everything out on Conference Row though, so if you guys do have any questions about this, feel free to ask. Go ahead and move inside the MAC building here shortly. Yeah, you guys can take pictures. I'm just going to talk real quick and then you guys will be able to take pictures. So the building we're in right now is the MAC building. So this building was used for the 4 original meetings, essential to the supervisor of the ceasefire agreement. Today it's used just for colonel level and staff officer talks. There has not been a talk in here probably 30 years at least. It's really not used too much. North Korea can use this building if they want to. They really don't choose to. We haven't seen them come in this building in years either. The 3 microphones you do see on the table, they're still monitored and recorded to this date. They're actually transferred over to the JDO shack, which is outside. It actually marks the MDL in the building as well. So those of you guys over on my left are actually in North Korea. Those of you on my right are still in South Korea. If you guys do want to cross over, feel free to do so. Do not cross directly in front or behind the soldier here. There's also a soldier station in the back of the room. They stand at this position. It's the modified position of Taekwondo, and wear the dark sunglasses kind of poses an intimidating shot.
You're not allowed to cross the border ordinarily, but when you're in the building, you can walk freely. So you're allowed to walk up to the other end, and there's a South Korean soldier, but you can stand in the North Korean half, stand next to the soldier and have a photo. It's just a really bizarre place to be. A lot of them that are looking into the north they stand next to a building, and they stand half covered by the building. And we were told this so that if someone randomly starts shooting at them, they were closer to hiding behind the building. So it's funny to see there's like a line of troops basically along each building, and they're all stood half hiding, looking into the north, just staring. I have so much respect for the soldiers that are manning that border. I mean, it was 30 degrees today, and those men in full army uniform, boots, hats and everything just stood perfectly still, just watching. See that in North Korea? That was fun too. It was a really good day, definitely recommend it. Definitely the highlight of the trip so far, I think. It was like an hour back south. We stopped at some weird jewellery shop that they were trying to flog us some amethyst at. They must have some agreement with the tour company because it was a bit weird, but didn't buy anything. Got back home, grabbed some food on the way back. I'm exhausted. It's a really good day, but it's a really tiring day. Just because you're seeing so much and it's so exciting. Tomorrow, I don't have much planned during the day. I think I will finally go to Gangnam tomorrow. I also learned that gang means
river, and Nam means south. So Gangnam, which is just south of the river, literally means river south. And then I've booked to go see a show at 5 p.m. in Myeongdong, which should be cool. I've booked to go see a non-verbal comedy cooking show. So apparently it's a really famous thing. It's called a Nanta Theatre. They had tickets. I figured I'd go see what it's all about. I didn't have anything else planned for tomorrow, so I'll keep you posted on this show. But it should be fun. Nothing else planned, but we'll see where we end up. So till then, I'll see you later. Stay safe, team.